A lot of us probably started with Bitcoin out of curiosity, and it led us to a path where we started questioning more and more around how the world works and doesn't work, and what are some of the greatest solutions to the problems that we're all facing, that we're all seeing. Obviously, there's the currency aspect, which I'm extremely passionate about. Having a the internet having a native currency onto its own that isn't dictated by decisions in Washington, D.C. that end up affecting people in the middle of Nigeria, which by its very virtue is not fair. But more than anything else for me, it was a reminder of the early internet that I grew up on. It is extremely principled. It's open source. Its workings are transparent. There's no single leader. The creator removed themselves from the equation fairly early on. The development model and the execution and operations has been consistent and unchallenged, and more than anything else, transparent. So the biggest thing that I think it means for the world is there is a way of building for the internet, building for the world, that is trusted, that is open, that is inclusive of anyone who wants to participate. We don't typically see that in the corporate world that we tend to live in and that I tend to live in. So it gave me a lot of lessons, a lot of reminders of why the internet is so important, and what we can do to ensure that people coming into intersection with this technology, that they trust it, and that if they have an idea that would make it better or make it more accessible, make it more secure, protect it even more, they can contribute. So there's so many lessons, but I think the internet having a native currency for itself opens so many doors, especially for internet companies, technology companies, but more importantly for everyday people, activists, people who have questions in the world, people who have curiosity, and more, recognizing that the current systems, whether they be the corporate financial systems or the government financial systems, just aren't working for them, and it's time to opt out of them and opt into something that is open, transparent, and for everyone. But and the most important thing is you can see it. You can see how it was built. You can see the instructions with which it's built. You can see how it runs. You can see the past history of disagreements and how resilient it's been to attacks, both political, government, individual, greed. It's resisted and been resilient to nearly every attack, and there are more to come. But I have no doubt that the model itself, the development model, the operational model, will solve the problems it faces better than any other development model I've seen in my lifetime. Yeah, the noble incentives of the network persisted, and the most amazing thing to me is that Satoshi didn't have to be there for that to happen. It encouraged enough thinking and questioning and curiosity that it went on and on in terms of mindset to all the developers that worked so hard during those times, and all the node operators, all the people who are using it, people that hold it, and also miners, making the realization that this is the right path, and this, it's another validation point of what we're all trying to build, just by participating in it. Yeah, nothing is hidden, and in the Bitcoin community, as you know, there's this saying which is "Don't trust, verify," and that's pretty much the ethos that has been consistent throughout my experience of it. And I think it speaks of, again, questioning, curiosity, but more importantly, doing the work to verify outcomes and verify the right outcomes. And the fact that Bitcoin's source and operations is all open and transparent, accessible to anyone, is a significant advantage that you just don't see in any other models. And especially for something as critical as money Like money touches every single person on this planet. Exchange of value as a concept touches every single person on the planet. Usually it's associated with a very negative feeling. We hate it. Sometimes we love it in very rare cases. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that we just don't understand it. We can't trust it because it's hidden behind government barriers or corporate barriers that now are being challenged completely. Incredible. And we fixate a lot on Satoshi, and I have nothing but gratitude for whoever this person is, but there's so much work that went into that to get to that moment as well, to get to what Satoshi was able to do. There's a whole background of engineering and science and experimentation and testing to get us to this point. So we constantly, like, the spirit of this is what's most interesting, and the fact that the spirit maintains and grows. And I would just characterize that the spirit is like this questioning curiosity and doing the work to figure out the answers, that keeps going back into the code base, and it keeps going back into the operations. So everyone benefits from that. Everyone can learn something from Bitcoin, even if you don't like it as a monetary system, as an asset. If you hate it, there's some lesson there that applies to anything that you currently do in the world, guaranteed.